Hello and welcome back, Strat fans. It's Colonel Strat, the strategy extraordinaire, and I'm back. Oh, finally I'm back. It's been a minute, and I've taken, I had to take a hiatus for a little while just to get acclimated to this new job I'm working at. So I apologize for that, Strat fans, because I know you guys wanted more videos, and I'm happy to say that I'm back, but videos will start to come a little slower. Unfortunately, because I could only have so much time, literally just 1 or 2 days a week to actually work on videos. So they may take a little while, but I'm hoping to get at least one out every week for you guys. If not more. I'm going to try my best to keep to the original schedule, but I will update you guys if I find that to be impossible. Anyway, we're back here with our Victoria 3 Let's Play. So where we left off, we were in a pretty good spot with a hefty amount of change, a good amount of of standard of living. Our GDP is number 1 with over 340 million, and we are rank 1 in the world. So we're doing very well. We've completely annexed all of America, so we've only one we have left to get is Texas, and we're going to start acquiring, quote unquote, some more land out here. In fact, I might go after Spain so that I can acquire some of the Caribbean areas, maybe as puppets. I don't know, but we're looking at trying to fix our. That's weird. What is that? Oh, impassable. Okay, we're looking at trying to complete our economic dominance objectives. So, been working on trying to get these lowered and to expand our market by getting more nations in our custom units. So that's why we're working on bettering the South American nations, because they're going to be better to have in our customs union, other than, you know, if it's across the sea. So without further ado, let's get started. We have a bunch of construction going on, stockpiling gold, still have market access issues, some input shortages. Obligation to Hawaii is expiring. Okay, still have Montana in turmoil. What's this? Igbo migration. Igbo people, Africans in Virginia. Alright. No, I don't want a trade agreement with you, France. Trade agreements are pretty much death to your economy if you're working on tariff, Strat fans. Just a little food for thought there for when you play in your own campaigns. Alright, so we have to work on expanding these areas over here because they're still pretty barren. So we have small little towns opening up. So we got to work on expanding out west our industries, and you know, just got to work on that because east is looking really heavy with industry. Like Ohio already is looking pretty good. Columbus is pretty big. Michigan is starting to grow as well. It's like, yeah, we just have to start expanding out west more, and you know, we'll do that, especially with our construction being so low. All right, so let's do some developments. Okay, so because we're looking at lowering these consumption prices, let's look for iron, coal, and steel. So coal, let's see any place out here that could use it. Yeah, Washington, Wyoming, Montana. Montana has a lot of peasants. What about Washington? Almost no peasants. So I think I'll do Montana. And I'll do a little bit more. Alright. Now let's look for iron. In fact, I need to have them all expanding. Let's look for iron mines. Again, Montana, but I want to do California. Oh, California already has a lot of iron mines too. Let's see, Utah could use some more. I'll add one there. Montana. See, the thing is, you can't just look at peasants either. You also have to look at unemployed. But there's a lot of them here. So I'm going to add more to Montana. And then finally, we need to look for steel. So steel mills. Okay, so we're going to do California for the steel mills. Just because that'll bring in a lot more people too. All right, and we are going to. I'm going to go look around and see what needs to be built, and I'm going to try to incorporate states. So let's go to our. I think it's political? Yeah, I think it's political. So our decrees, we have these decrees everywhere. So we're helping people promote social mobility, so they're getting more qualifications, and bumping up our production of every type of resource. Let's see, do we need any more? I don't think so. Oh, emergency relief. No, we don't need that. Promote social national values. Oh, okay. And we don't need that either. All right. But yeah, state actions, we're going to start incorporating these states so that we can, you know, increase their infrastructure. So then we'll have them incorporated. So that'll help a lot with the construction and all that. But we are going to have to manually expand some things as well. Like that. All right. Let's see. We already put down a university everywhere. But yeah, we're doing pretty good. Middling right now. We just need to work on expanding stuff as fast as possible, building up our economy, and you know, then I feel like we're going to have a war with Spain. So I think I declared an interest in Iberia so that I could declare a war on Spain. But what to do? I just don't know what to make the war about. I could ban slavery, but again, they have a lot of allies, and that's what I'm working on. You know, that's what I'm working on getting destroyed is the allies. So Russia, Austria, those are pretty scary allies. Everyone else is not so scary, but these guys may join. The German Federation and France would be scary too. But, you know, I think my military is okay. It's not the greatest. Oh, okay. But yeah, it's not the greatest, but we have a good amount of troops, I say. Probably at least, let's see, 40, 34, 24, 21, 13. And it's about, without conscripts, I think we're at, yeah, we're at 132. But our conscript battalions is insane. But again, Russia has a lot too. Yeah, they have a lot. But they're not doing so good in the GDP market, and their people are starving. So I don't feel like they would be able to survive a war if one broke out with us. It's more I'm worried about the other powers. I just don't want to, you know, start one that we're not ready for, Stratfans. So I'm trying to make sure we're ready. By expanding the military, making sure we have the updated equipment, like trench infantry and all that, so that we can deal some damage to them. But I am going to declare a war on them soon. Maybe a regime change? No. What I want to do is I want to take one of their protectorates, like Cuba. That's what I want to take. I could make them a puppet. Again, you know, those ones are definitely going to join, but these ones are the ones on the fence. The German Federation and France would be a little bit worrisome. Yeah, if I did conquer state, but I feel like I can't do that on here because Cuba is a protectorate of Spain, but for some reason I can't get them from them. I don't know, maybe I just have to do a regular one, like maybe like ban slavery or something, and then it'll allow me to take things from that. But I have to work towards bettering relations with these other nations so that they don't just declare war on me. So France is conquering Algeria right now. Okay. I'm waiting for a good moment, Stratfans. I'm waiting for the good moment to declare war on them, because we just finished the Mexican-American War. And we prevented the Civil War because it's 1872. World War I is bound to happen at some point too. So if the German Federation ever forms into Germany, then you know they might go at it. But then we could sweep in and beat up Spain while they're doing that. And Austria's probably not going to fall apart like it does historically, even though I would love it to. All right. Need to keep expanding these. Keep expanding. Alright. I do need to get a hold of some more resources, like opium. If I can get a hold of that, it'd be great. Let's see. Let's see. I have to declare an interest where we could find some opium. Let's see. It's mostly in the Asian countries. Naval invasions in this game suck, though. They do. I learned it on a private play that I tried to take Dynam as Germany, and you know, just I kept getting repelled because they could just stack so many battalions in one province that it wasn't fair. Alright, so there's opium up here. 117 is more than I ever need. And I would just have them producing that. But, again, if I were to go and conquer them or make them a puppet or something, that would anger all of these guys. And on top of that, it may just... The game may just decide to have them stack all their units in one province and be able to destroy my naval invasions because I can only drop like 2 divisions at a time. It just... It's really unfair, but that's how it is. I could try trading, but I don't really want to trade for that. Alright, let's see. New import route for opium. And like, it's so little amount that it can't support my military. I would have to go and like take it myself because the AI just doesn't set up good trade routes or really productive ones. They're not real good at that. We have a lot of animosity in the western states, but in the eastern states not so much because they're really developed. Alright, defense in depth. That's good. Okay. I think we should move on to another society one. Let's see. We have feminism, malaria prevention, multilateral alliances, central planning, microeconomics. I don't know, the extra infrastructure is tempting. Very tempting. Mass propaganda, behaviorism, biotics, mass surveillance. I could either do central planning, which will increase my tax capacity a whole lot. Yeah, I'm going to do elevators. that 10% infrastructure by population is going to be a lifesaver for my market access. Colorado's in turmoil now. My gold producing state. Ah, boy. Yeah, let's look at our military. So we have this. I want to switch to trench. I'm going to do that. Let's just go to buildings, develop. Switch all these guys to trench. Trench. Yeah, I'm hard doing it. I need to get those ironclads researched so that I can get steamers, then improve my ports. Alright, so that's going to cause a little bit of trouble, but it won't be too bad. Probably won't be a war this episode, Strat fans, because we just came off of the Mexican-American War. But I think I'm going to support an interest in the Far East. Probably in the Indies. Maybe if I can find some opium there. Now starts the part of the game where you're trying real hard to like locate the resources you need to sustain yourself. Like, these resources are fine because they're really, cash crops. But you need like the strategic resources like opium or oil. Oil's a big one. So that's what this part of the game really is just trying to locate those resources and acquire them. Yep, I could try Burma, because Burma has a lot of opium producing states. Does Burma have any military allies? Let's see, any military allies? Alliance with Cambodia. Those obligations to Austria, truces with that's probably their rebel state. Okay, so yeah, their alliance with Cambodia. That one. Okay, they only have one alliance. They have defensive pact with Siam. So let's see. Let's go to my diplomatic lens. No, no, it's not. Yeah, that's one. This one. We'll declare an interest in Indochina. And then I'll see what I can do. Okay. Diplomatic play. Okay. Conquer state. No, I can't conquer state. Port. Transfer subject. Oh, transfer subject. No, I can't do that. No. Liberate subject. Make dominion. This is weird. Maybe I have to wait a little bit for my interest to be in here. Alright, well, we'll wait a little bit for that interest to take effect, and then we'll look at our options. Because we need to secure those resources, and I need to expand over here too to secure some oil. I need to... There's one thing I can't figure out is like where to find all these resources at, like where to see where they are produced. Because like I can click on here, but it won't show me where they're at, like where the resource is actually located. Oh, now they do. Okay. Alright. It didn't do this before. So I could do Madagascar and take that as a colony. Japan has a lot. Alaska definitely does. And we actually do have some in Maine and up here, which is kind of counterintuitive. Okay, let's see opium. Let's see if we can find if there's any opium in over here, because if it's over here I can reach it a lot easier than I can overseas. I can reach it a lot easier here. Let's go to the details. Okay. Alright, so there's a lot of opium there. I don't believe any of it's other than, yeah, none of it's outside of China. Yeah. I could just start trading with China. I could just do that. Maybe improve their relations so that I could get opium from them. That's probably the, safest way for most players to get it. But I'm not like most players. I like to have a direct link to the source of the resource. That way I can I don't have to wait for the AI to decide it has enough money to increase it. I can just do it like that. Alright, so we're really expanding the eastern and start of the western states. I haven't looked at our politics in a while, Strat fans. So Edmund Hubbard is leading right now. He's a pacifist, so he won't endorse a war. That's probably why we're having struggles with that. Abe Lincoln still running strong, 63. Yeah, so he survived his assassination attempt. So let's see. I want to get these ones up, but for some reason the trade unions and intelligentsia don't like it. Usually they're the ones that support it. I need to do workers' protections. That'll really help workers get more wages. That'll improve their happiness. I do need to do some type of social security though. Let's see. Old age pension, social security institution, 50%, welfare payments, wage subsidies. We'll do old age pension. Yeah, we'll start enacting that. It's not gonna be super popular, but hopefully it'll be popular enough. And even though it will dip our finances a bit because we'll be paying these old people, it'll really help our standard of living because the people that become old, they'll start getting a pension. All right, let's see who's in. Hubbard won again. All right, let's look at our institutions. I want to do more of our police, but I really want to do education. So I'm going to do education level 5 first. And then I'll start upgrading our other stuff. Alright, enact regulatory bodies. Oh, I want to do employer or employee protections. Alright, here's an event. Discord within the armed forces. and their communal members naturally on the topic of old age pension. Why are they upset about getting a pension? What? Oh, themselves in favor of the law, they have now resolved to form a separate... Okay, so they're not opposed to it. With their support, the bill shall pass. Alright. There we go. Yeah, so it's 50% to pass. It's becoming a lot easier to pass these laws. Oh no, the Great Molasses Flood. A storage tank full to the brim with molasses intended for rum distillation has burst, flooding the streets of Nashville's commercial center, killing dozens and injuring hundreds of bystanders. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, we'll have to close the distilleries, even though it will shut down our production of food, of the food industries, but yeah, so their productivity is gonna plummet, but at least we won't lose that many people. Our population is growing up steadily, so the more that we get, the more we can, the more people we can get. Grassroots support for the law. Okay, political wills and desires of lower classes will always remain an opaque matter. For whatever reason, support for old age pension has spread like wildfire. Oh, okay. Public enthusiasm. Expedite reform. 70% now. Gotta be enacted really soon, I feel. We're doing really good. Our radicals are gaining up, though, but we are getting more loyalists than radicals. Alright. Nice. Synthetic plants. Synthetic plants. I gotta check that. Alright, let's go check that technology. What did that say? Anilic. Synthetic plants. Building. Leads to art silk. Okay, so synthetic plants. Okay, what does this do? Oh, it produces dyes. Okay. Okay. Well, let's go to our buildings. Well, we'll just build one somewhere. I think it's in urban. Yeah, it should be in urban. Yeah, we need to build one. Alright. Let's see. How many people do they employ, though? That's the thing. Sometimes it doesn't tell you how much they employ. Okay. Engineers. That's about, I'd say, 4 or 5K needed for it. Mississippi has quite a bit. So we'll build some in there. And then some in California and some in Montana. That'll work. That way we can get some synthetic dye into our market. That'll stop the shortage. Thank Christ for that. I don't know what they use, though. I have to make sure they don't use something bad. Or use something that's already being used. Let's see. What does it use? Fertilizer and so... Yeah, we have plenty of that. Plenty of that. And it makes synthetic dye. That's pretty good. It's pretty cool. That'll help us a lot. Alright. Yeah, so you see how our economy took a dip from that? Because we're paying a lot to, I think it's government wages. Yeah, no, I think it's under additional expenses. It dipped a lot, but it'll help a lot. You know, it radicalizes these two. The southern planters are marginalized. The industrialists aren't marginalized yet, but they're very, very low. So the independent enfranchisement, this helps them get better stuff and they get more dependence income. Alright, so it does help get more money in their pocket, and then thus they'll go out and spend more. So I'm guessing that our economy is going to take a hit, but eventually it will recover. Like, it's already starting to recover now. Alright, back up to almost 100K now. So it's going to be a little, fragile, but I don't think it will cause it too much. Irish people in Ohio. Okay, cool. Cool, we need more Irish down here. Alrighty. And, yeah, that's awesome. We get a lot of level ups. Our literacy is looking really good, too, and it keeps going up. So I feel like eventually we're going to be really good. Alright, yep. And our radicals are actually decreasing. The Mossy Africans come to New York. And with that, now that we've reached secure on our standard of living, most people are secure. That's a really good one to be. Because once we reach that, now I think it's a good time to cut it here, Strat fans. So, like I said, I'm hoping to continue to stay on the same schedule. I just wanted to level with you guys that it may be a little different going forward, and eventually, after I completed so many series, like the Army Men RTS series, the Battalion War series, once those are done, they're done. And I'm going to start doing one series a week, and, well, 3 series a week, but they're different types of videos. I will update you guys with a post soon on what this schedule change is going to be, and I know I've been making a lot of schedule changes. My life's kind of like a roller coaster right now, so just bear with me, and I hope you enjoy the content. Now with that, without further ado, keep it strategic, Strat fans. Colonel out.